I'm just going to get straight into this video because otherwise it's going to be a long video. So basically, I went to Mac a couple of weeks ago actually now, but I went into Mac. I am going to say which Mac it was. It was the Mac counter in Selfridges on Oxford Street in London. I love Selfridges. I literally would never say a bad word about Selfridges at all, but Mac in Selfridges was just like a poor experience. I had previously like gone to Tom Ford, Charlotte Tilbury, looking around Laura Mercier. Charlotte Tilbury was lovely, Tom Ford was lovely. Jo Malone was actually like an incredible shopping experience. Like, it was just so nice. And then I went to Mac. I've had previous experiences with Mac where the staff have just been quite ignorant towards me. I don't take it as a personal thing because I know a lot of people have felt like that. But I just sort of always brushed it off and thought, oh, whatever sort of thing. Like, I'll buy what I want to buy and I'll get out. I do much prefer going into Mac, like small stores, rather than the counters in like big department stores. I prefer going into the small stores. Just want to say though that this is not me having to go at Mac. It's not me having to go at anyone who works at Mac. It is just this specific Mac on this specific day that I went. Like I said, I've been shopping around all the other counters, so I've got bags, like they know I'm buying stuff. I have my purse in my hand and I'm with my dad at this time, and I said, oh, do you mind if I just quickly go over to Mac and get these couple things? And he was like, no, that's fine. So he's waiting for me, which is nice, and I go over and I knew exactly what I wanted. I wanted 2 lip liners. I wanted to get Spice and Saw. I knew exactly what I wanted. And at Mac you can't like grab your products, like everything's in drawers below or like behind the tills, or you know, in all these displays. You can't like ever just grab what you want. You have to ask somebody to go and get them for you. So I thought, right, I'll save time and I'll go straight up to the till and tell the woman at the till what I want, because I've done that before. So I go up to the till, and 2 separate like till parts where you can pay. You can either pay on this side or this side. So I went over to the one side, and I'm waiting in the queue, and there's about 6 members of staff, I think, and there's only 1 woman serving. And I am like second in the queue. There's 1 woman who's paying and I'm behind her, but I stood like to the side because there's not really a lot of room. If I stood behind her, that's a bit too personal, so I stood just to the side, so I would have like been in line with the second till. So I'm standing there waiting, and there's 6 members of staff. 1 guy is cleaning his brushes, 1 woman is serving on the till, there's a woman like behind, like doing something with the display. I'm not quite sure what she was doing, but there was another woman there. Then there were 3 members of staff, 2 of which were arguing with each other, like a full-on argument. Not even like, oh, don't say that, it was like a full-on argument. And there was literally another girl in the middle going, I can't believe you're arguing about this. They were arguing about like days that they had worked. Like the girl was saying to a guy, you work Saturday, you work Saturday, and he's going, I didn't work Saturday, but I didn't. And it was just like back and forth, like really petty. And the woman in the middle, like, wasn't even like, shh, stop arguing in front of customers. She was just like, I can't believe you're arguing about this. And I was like, I can't believe you're arguing in front of customers. Like, that's just bad. Like, that's just like not very good. That's like not professional at all. So anyway, I must have been waiting in the queue for about 5 minutes, and I thought, do you know what, right, I'm going to find someone who can just go and grab me the stuff and maybe put me through on a separate till. So I'm looking around, and I see a woman who's standing right next to my dad actually at this point. So I go over to this lady who I see on her own, and the second that I get there, she turns her back on me, and I was just like, you clearly knew I was there, like you clearly knew I was there. And she starts having a conversation with this other girl who works at Mac, who's meant to be doing someone's makeup, emphasis on the meant to be. And she was just like having a conversation like, what did you do at the weekend, like that. And I was just like, what? Like, number one, I felt sorry for the poor girl who was sitting there meant to be having her makeup done by someone who's meant to be concentrating on what they're doing. And number 2, I was just like, okay, like it made me feel so awkward. Like, I feel so awkward. And I must have been standing there for a good 2 minutes before, like, she could see I was clearly there, like she knew I was there, and she was literally about this close to me. But I'm not going to tap on her because that's rude. So I waited until she finished her conversation, and she turned around and she literally did this. She went, yeah. And I thought, how condescending is that? Like, honestly, like, yeah. Like, it was literally just like that. And I went, hi, can I get Saw and Spice lip liners please? And she was like, Saw and Spice, yeah? I was like, yeah, thanks. Like, I was being so polite. In my head I was thinking rude, but I was going, okay, yeah. And she went, okay, and she walks off. And as she walks behind the other tills, like the ones that I didn't go to first, as she walks behind them, she must have seen another girl who works at Mac that maybe she hasn't seen for 24 hours. So she was like, hi, how are you? How's the kids? Giving her hugs and kisses. I was like, what? In a like a professional beauty brand, like what? Like it was just like mental. Anyway, and she literally was talking to her for a good like 3 minutes before she bothered to look for my lip liners. And then about 5 minutes later she comes back and she was like, oh, we've only got Spice. And I was like, oh, that's fine, I'll definitely take that, because I thought that they wouldn't have Spice because I thought Spice was more popular. So I said, oh, that's fine, I'll take that anyway. And she went, okay. So she goes and she gets this iPad that all Mac people use. She's putting it in, like all the information, obviously, to get her commission on it. So then she does it wrong, so she goes back and she starts again. And then she does it wrong again, so she does it all, you know, it just like went on and on and on. And then she finally gets to the point and she scans the barcode, so she takes a picture. But it's like she's taking a selfie, so she's like this, trying to take a picture, and I'm like, you're taking a picture of a barcode. Like, so I've been standing there for a good like 2 minutes while she's tapping it into this iPad. And she mumbled something and I was like, oh no, behind the till. And I was just, all I caught was behind the till. So I went, okay, thank you, like perfectly polite. So she obviously puts it next to the till which the one woman is serving on. And so I go and I stand behind her. I think it was the same woman. I'm pretty sure it was the same woman paying. And so she's been there a good 15 minutes because I'd been waiting ages. I think, right, I'm next. Like, I'm next. This person's been here for 15 minutes. Surely they can't be that much longer. I'm standing there and I'm literally just like this. Like looking around, no one's even going, have you just got this, I'll pop you through on this till, sort of thing. It's not like that at all. It's like, you wait your turn. You wait your turn. Yeah, people walking past me and I'm just like, God, everyone here is just so ignorant, like just so ignorant. They were more interested in talking to their friends. What did you do last night? How's the kids? Like, so I'd been waiting there for a good another 5, 6, 7 minutes. This massive pillar next to me, my dad's leaning up against it, like losing the will to live. And I'm never rude in a shop, like I'm never rude in a shop. But this just like was beyond a bit of a joke. I must have been in there 20 minutes. Easy 20 minutes. My dad was quite far away from me, to be fair, so I had to speak a little bit louder to have a conversation with him. And I said to him, I was like, on purpose, I said, nobody wants to serve me, like no one wants to take my money, like my purse is in my hand, but nobody wants to take my money off me. I've been here for so long. And I'm not going to go there because I was saying it to my dad at the time. And yeah, so no one, literally not flinch from anyone. They must have heard what I was saying, but nothing. After about another 3 minutes of waiting, I just walked off. I just left, I didn't buy it. And I just thought to myself, like, how ignorant and rude is that? Like, I just thought it was so rude. And I've had similar experiences in Mac, but not like as bad as that. But that was just, it honestly was horrendous. Like, I'm waiting 5 minutes to go over to the woman who was more interested in talking to her friend, for her giving me a bit of attitude the first second she saw me. It's probably because I didn't have my Louboutins on that day. Waiting while she walked over to her friend, waiting while she tried to figure out how to work an iPad, then waiting and I walked over to the till, saying what I had said and still waiting. Like, I was just like, for God's sake, there's so many things. It's like a domino effect. It was like the first thing happened and it was just like and I was just like, do you know what, forget this. So I literally just went out and left, and I went to Charlotte Tilbury instead. But of Mac products, I would never slag off Mac as a company. I love Estee Lauder because Estee Lauder owns Mac. I would never slag off you know, any other brand, but it was just this specific day and the specific staff that served me in Mac. And to be honest, I'm one of these people who, if it was quicker, I'd have gone, oh, can I get this as well? Because it would have been so quick. I would have spent like 40 quid rather than just £12.50, you know what I mean? But that's just my personal experience that specific day in the Mac counter. So before, and I'm sure it will happen again. But yeah, I'd be interested to know if anybody else has had experiences like that, because yeah, I'm sure I'm not the first, and I'm sure I definitely won't be the last. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more videos, and I will see you next week for another video.